Ahead on Daytime Buffalo, happy Halloween. We have some safety tips to make sure you're having the most fun for tonight without the fright. And later we have a dangerously delicious decorating demonstration from Muscarell's Fine Desserts. It's all coming up right now on Daytime Buffalo. Happy Halloween! Hello and welcome to Daytime Buffalo. I'm your host, Chelsea Lavelle. It's the spookiest day of the year as kids prepare to parade around the neighborhood to get treats. So we want to make sure you're staying safe to make your night less frightful. And joining me now with some safety tips to take away the terror is Elizabeth Carey from AAA and Trooper James O'Callahan. Thanks so much for joining me, you two.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you guys came in costume. Trooper O's been pretending to be a state trooper for several years now.
Yeah.
And I just want to
pretending, for sure.
I need to clarify, I am not qualified to change any tires. I'm just dressing the part.
we're all disguising. We're all in a mask today.
Those are expensive.
Okay, no, we have a lot of fun on Halloween, but unfortunately, as much fun that is had on tonight, there's also a lot of dangerous things that happen. So give us an idea of how dangerous tonight can be and what the biggest dangers actually are.
Well, I guess that when we're talking about the danger adult parties. That's where we see our numbers really come to life, if you will. The last year, just 31st to November 3rd, we had 170 DWIs, almost 1,000 traffic collisions, and almost 10,000 ticketed people. And it's the time where you don't want to be taking risks, doing things that you shouldn't be doing. And you know what? Go out, go have fun. Go to the parties, dress up. You know, it's a good time. If Halloween's finally on a Friday, like go enjoy things. However, if alcohol or cannabis are party or night, all we ask, don't get behind the wheel. That's a simple thing. We're going to put extra patrols out, not only us, but local law enforcement agencies. It shouldn't be a surprise when you see a road check or extra patrols out. That's for your safety. That's for your kids' safety, the neighborhood safety. That's why we do that. So again, go enjoy the parties. Don't drink and drive. Don't use cannabis and drive.
And, you know, when it comes to being on the road, you can be safe, but that doesn't mean everyone around you is being safe as well. So how can drivers stay safe during those trick-or-treating hours especially?
So she'll talk a little bit about making your kids a little bit, you know, brighter. So visibility is a big thing. But as a driver of a vehicle, slow down. Some of these neighborhoods have hundreds, if not thousands, of kids, depending on where you're going. And sometimes just the rolling speed of the car is fast enough. Talk to your teen drivers about slowing down tremendously, not driving distracted. Our 16 to 25-year-olds tend to drive a lot with the phone in their hand.
Right.
Talk to them about that, because if a child darts out or something changes, you will not be able to react to that. We had 3 fatalities last year just in that little span of time. And it's one of those things you really need to just put it back in your head like, okay, there's a lot. It's going to be different tonight than any other night driving around.
Right. And Elizabeth, do you want to tell us what parents can do to keep their kids safe as they're dressing up in their costumes?
Yeah, of course, Halloween's like the best holiday. Kids just love it. They're dressed in costumes, they're getting candy, they're so excited. But you want to make sure that your kids are seen. So at AAA, like we put these lights like right here so the drivers are seen on the side of the road. Something like this, glow sticks, reflective tape, carrying a flashlight, talking to the kids before they go trick-or-treating so they know not to dart out between two parked cars.
Right.
That's going to go a long way. Pedestrian Safety Awareness Month is this month, and Halloween is one of the top nights for pedestrian fatalities, and they're usually taking place after dark and outside of crosswalks, so keep that in mind.
That's right. Let's talk about when it comes to candy. That's always a big topic, and for the most part, it hasn't been a huge deal, I know, in past years, but we just want to make sure we're keeping them safe, right?
No, absolutely. The candy situation, right? If it's wrapped brand name candy, that's what's acceptable. Fruits, vegetables, homemade goods, throw right in the garbage. The chances of finding that razor blade, remember the age old, like you find some like tainted, like a razor blade or something dangerous in there, it almost never happens. So don't stress about that. However, if something's open, like a Snickers bar is partially opened or whatever it is, throw that out as well. But if you happen to come across something suspicious, something that just looks off as a parent, everyone's seen candy their whole life, or if you believe like obvious reasons, like there is something in this candy, please call 911. That is an emergency, because we want to make sure we find find out where your kid was trick-or-treating, where you were, and who was possibly responsible for that. So that is obviously a top priority for us to keeping, kids and people safe.
And make sure the adult candy is separate, very far away from the kids' candy, right?
Yes, and also, like we always say in my house, like the dad tax is in effect. So whatever my kids get, because you're part of the whole night, making sure they're safe, you get a portion of this candy. You have to make sure. Yes, it makes total sense.
Yes. Where can our viewers go to get some more safety tips, whether it's from the state troopers or AAA?
Well, at AAA.com, we have a whole list of safety tips for everybody, including homeowners. So you want to make sure your house is well lit tonight because it's also a top night for vandalism, park in a well lit area. All that and more is right at AAA.com, and I'm sure you guys have information.
Yeah, the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee will have different things on their website, and you can go through, but it'll give you even dates, times, depending on where you live. You can use WIVB, right? Go on there and figure out your trick-or-treat times. And remember, a lot of those times are in the dark hours. A lot of them are starting at either 5 or 6 o'clock. It's going to be relatively dark and with the weather. So visibility is a big thing. Slowing down on the roads, another big thing. And for the parties, don't drive intoxicated. That's all we ask. It's pretty simple, I think.
Have fun, be safe, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
All treats and no tricks.
All treats and no tricks.
Well, for trick-or-treating safety, just make sure you and your children are visible in your costumes, cross roads safely, and using crosswalks and traffic signals, and avoid distractions. If you're driving through a residential area, make sure you're slowing down, staying seated at all times, even when parked roadside, and don't use your phone while parked. You can look out for more information by visiting the websites of AAA and the New York State Troopers. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.